In the midst of the geopolitical tensions that continue to escalate in the Middle East, a devastating airstrike has targeted Shahid Beshi University, located in the northern region of Tehran, the capital of Iran. The strike, reportedly carried out in a joint effort by American and Israeli forces, has left a trail of destruction on the university campus, an area known for its academic and research excellence. The institute at the heart of the strike, the Institute for Plasma and Laser Research, has suffered significant damage, raising concerns about the broader implications for Iran's academic infrastructure. The Institute for Plasma and Laser Research was established in 2003 by Drive Tehrani, a prominent figure in Iran's academic community and the former head of Azad University. Dr. Tehrani, who was assassinated in a conflict earlier in June, was renowned for his contributions to scientific research in Iran. The attack on this institute, founded by such a distinguished scientist, underscores the severity of the ongoing conflict and the targeting of intellectual resources in the region. The amount of damage is unbelievably massive, described an eyewitness on the scene, capturing the extent of the destruction, not only to the research institute, but also across various parts of the campus, including a dormitory. The visual aftermath is stark. Debris and damaged equipment scattered across the site, vividly illustrating the force of the blast. This incident is part of a broader pattern of airstrikes across the country, which have increasingly focused on civilian infrastructure, including educational institutions. This recent attack is not an isolated event. Shahid Beshi University is the third major academic institution in Iran to be targeted recently. The Iranian government has expressed growing concerns about these strikes, particularly their impact on civilian infrastructure and educational facilities. The timing of the attack coinciding with the Nowruz holiday meant that students were not present in the dormitory, potentially averting a more significant tragedy in terms of human casualties. However, the damage to the infrastructure itself is extensive and raises questions about the long-term impacts on Iran's educational capabilities. The Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has condemned these actions, interpreting them as systematic attacks on the academic foundations of the country. A spokesperson from the ministry described the airstrikes as a war crime, emphasizing the targeted nature of these attacks on Iran's intellectual and scientific community. The strikes have not only caused physical destruction, but have also sent a chilling message about the vulnerability of Iran's educational and research institutions. In addition to Shahid Beshi University, the University of Science and Technology in the eastern part of Tehran has also been targeted by similar airstrikes. This institution, another pillar of Iran's academic landscape, has faced heavy bombardments over recent weeks. Dr. Shamagdari, an associate professor at the University of Science and Technology, was among those tragically affected by the conflict. He was assassinated alongside his two children, aged 11 and 18, an act that has further fueled international outcry and accusations of war crimes. The implications of these attacks extend beyond immediate physical damage. They represent a strategic assault on Iran's academic and scientific progress, aiming to undermine the country's intellectual resources and capabilities. The targeting of educational infrastructure not only disrupts current research and academic activities, but also threatens the future development of scientific knowledge and innovation within Iran. The situation is further compounded by the recent targeting of Isfahan University of Technology. This institution, another key component of Iran's academic network, was attacked just days ago. The cumulative effect of these strikes is a growing sense of vulnerability and instability within Iran's academic community. As these attacks continue, there is an increasing demand from the international community for accountability and measures to protect educational institutions from becoming collateral damage in ongoing geopolitical conflicts. As the dust settles in the aftermath of these strikes, the focus shifts to the broader implications for Iran's academic infrastructure and the international response to these events. The targeted nature of these attacks on educational institutions raises critical questions about the motives behind them and the potential consequences for academic freedom and scientific progress in the region. The unfolding situation demands a nuanced understanding of the geopolitical dynamics at play and the impact on Iran's academic landscape. As the international community closely monitors these developments, there is a growing call for diplomatic interventions and resolutions to prevent further escalations and to safeguard the integrity of educational and scientific institutions in conflict zones. The recent escalation in military actions targeting academic institutions in Iran, particularly the airstrike on Shahid Beshi University in Tehran, highlights a troubling trend in the ongoing geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. The university, renowned for its scientific and research contributions, suffered extensive damage following the coordinated airstrike by American and Israeli forces. The attack not only destroyed significant infrastructure, but also intensified concerns about the broader implications for Iran's educational and research capabilities. At the center of this controversy is the Institute for Plasma and Laser Research, a facility that has played a crucial role in Iran's scientific community since its establishment in 2003 by Dr. Tehrani. Dr. Tehrani, a former head of Azad University, was a respected figure in the academic world until his assassination during a conflict. Earlier this year, his legacy includes substantial contributions to advancing scientific research in Iran, and the attack on the institute he founded underscores the seriousness of the ongoing conflict, particularly the targeting of intellectual and academic resources. The airstrike's devastation was vividly captured by eyewitnesses on the scene. The amount of damage is unbelievably massive, described one observer, highlighting the extensive destruction not only to the Institute for Plasma and Laser Research, but also to various parts of the campus, including student dormitories. The aftermath is characterized by debris and damaged equipment scattered across the site, stark evidence of the blast force. This incident is part of a broader pattern of airstrikes targeting civilian infrastructure, including educational institutions across the country. Such attacks are not isolated incidents, but part of a growing pattern of strikes on major academic institutions in Iran. Shahid Beshi University is the third significant educational facility to be targeted recently, following similar attacks on the University of Science and Technology and Isfahan University of Technology. These actions have raised alarms about the systematic targeting of Iran's educational infrastructure, with the Iranian government expressing significant concerns over the impact on civilian infrastructure and educational facilities. The Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has condemned the attacks, interpreting them as a concerted effort to undermine the country's academic foundations. The ministry's spokesperson described the assaults as a systematic attack on the academic foundations of the country, emphasizing the strategic nature of these strikes in crippling Iran's intellectual and educational resources. In the broader context, these airstrikes coincide with the Nowruz holiday, a time traditionally associated with celebration and cultural reflection in Iran. The timing of the attack. Chaos has added to the distress as many students and faculty members were away from the campuses, potentially reducing the number of casualties. However, the damage to infrastructure remains a significant concern. The destruction of academic institutions represents a severe blow to Iran's educational and research sectors. These facilities are not just centers of learning, but also hubs for innovation and scientific advancement. The loss of infrastructure, equipment, and research materials will have long-term repercussions on Iran's ability to contribute to global scientific research and development. Moreover, the targeting of educational institutions raises critical ethical questions about the conduct of military operations in conflict zones. The deliberate targeting of civilian infrastructure, particularly educational facilities, could be interpreted as a violation of international humanitarian law, which seeks to protect civilian lives and property during armed conflicts. The Iranian government has been vocal in its condemnation of the strikes, urging the international community to recognize the attacks as acts of aggression against civilian infrastructure. The systematic nature of these assaults has led to calls for a reevaluation of military strategies that prioritize the destruction of educational institutions over the protection of civilian lives and property. As the geopolitical tensions in the region continue to escalate, the international community faces a critical decision point. The response to these attacks will set a precedent for how educational institutions are protected during conflicts and will determine the future of academic freedom and innovation in Iran. In conclusion, the recent airstrikes on Shahid Beshi University and other Iranian academic institutions represent a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. The destruction of these facilities poses a severe threat to Iran's educational and research capabilities. Long-term implications for the country's scientific community. The international community must recognize the importance of protecting civilian infrastructure, particularly educational facilities, during armed conflicts, and work towards a resolution that prioritizes the preservation of academic freedom and innovation.